Good morning, everyone. As you heard me say last night, we are humbled by the trust that the American people have placed in us. And we recognize this is a time for us to roll up our sleeves and go to work on the people's priorities, creating jobs, cutting spending, and reforming the way Congress does its business. It's not just what the American people are demanding, it's what they are expecting from us. And the real question now is this: are we going to listen to the American people? Republicans have made a pledge to America, and our pledge is to listen to the American people and to focus on their priorities, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Last night, the president was kind enough to call me. We discussed working together on the American people's priorities, cutting spending, creating jobs. And we hope that he will continue to be willing to work with us on those priorities. But as I said last night, the new majority here in Congress will be the voice of the American people, and I think we clearly expressed that last night. We're going to continue and renew our efforts for a smaller, less costly, and more accountable government here in Washington, D.C. I also want to say thanks to my two colleagues. As most of you know, Senator McConnell and I have worked very closely together over the last 5 years or so. Haley Barbour and I have been friends for the last 20 years, and we have a real partnership, and I'm proud to stand here today with both of them. Mitch?
Well, at the risk of this sounding like a mutual admiration society, let me also say what a pleasure it's been to work with John the last 4 years in our leadership roles. And I, too, have known Haley for 20 years, a great friend, and this is a happy day for the three of us. Let me make a few observations as well. We are indeed humbled and ready to listen to the American people and to lead on the issues that they've clearly indicated they care about. We're determined to stop the agenda Americans have rejected and to turn the ship around. We'll work with the administration when they agree with the people and confront them when they don't. I think what our friends on the other side learned is that choosing the president over your constituents is not a good strategy. This election yesterday was clearly a referendum on the administration and the Democratic majority here in the Congress. Ignoring the voters and their wishes, as you could see during the entire 2-year period, produces predictable results. And the health care bill, in my view, is sort of a metaphor for the government excess that we witnessed over the last 2 years. The American people watched the government running banks, insurance companies, car companies, taking over the student loan business, and then they said, now they're taking my health care as well, and I think it just became the tipping point during the course of the last 2 years. I would say to our friends on the other side of the aisle, and listening to what they've had to say this morning, they may have missed the message somewhat. I get the impression they're thinking, their view is that we haven't cooperated enough. I think what the American people were saying yesterday is that they appreciated us saying no to the things that the American people indicated they were not in favor of. So I think the group that should hopefully get the message out of yesterday's elections is our friends on the other side of the aisle. And we hope that they will pivot in a different direction, work with us on things like spending and debt and trade agreements and nuclear power and clean coal technology and other things the president has said that he's for, that most of my members are for. So the question is, how do we meet in the middle? And it seems to me the best strategy for the other side would be to listen to the voters yesterday. They've made a clear statement about what they'd like to see done. If the president comes in our direction, obviously we want to make progress for the country over the next 2 years.